So, all right, everyone. As the queen of the world under natural law, return the plane. Okay? Return the plane. And to the head of states and governments around the world, cease and desist giving gifts to politicians and public officials, government employees. Gift giving is over. Let true deal negotiations begin. Let's see how good you are in negotiations and making deals without special favors. And of course, the royal puppy Comet just picked up her, what is it? Water bowl. Okay.
She was saying, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, she's saying, I'll drink to that, Mom. So, all right. So, let's go to the next royal decree. And Her Excellency Darlene is going to put that back up there. Let's see. So the royal decree, prohibition of Google services within the Kingdom of Canada. Okay, and if you can read that out loud there. Too small. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Prohibition of Google services within the Kingdom of Canada. All services, platforms, and applications provided by Google Inc. and its affiliated entities are hereby prohibited within the Kingdom of Canada, including but not limited to Google Search, Google Maps, Google Chrome, Google Ads, Google Cloud, Google Play Store, YouTube, Gmail, Android operating system.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone would like to speak to that? Okay. Who would like to start us off?
Her Excellency Sally Wong.
Her Excellency Sally Wong. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, and Your Royal Majesty. Here's what I've written to that. Canadian nationals will be just fine. We will not be the first country to reject Google. For example, Russia and China has gone before us, and they are doing just fine. Their economies are booming. And the other thing about Google, if you think about it, how did they get that technology? I believe it's something like medbeds. It's not human technology. But we know that the people who control the high tech, they belong to a small club of the occult. And please make note that the word occult has the word cult in it. They know a lot about cults and they project. They are the largest cult in the world. But anyway, I diverse here. I let me not change the subject here. These are people with the bloodline that connects them to the Rockefellers and Rothschilds in America. We only know these names in America. There are many more. And the one thing that we might have some disagreement with about Google is this. They have so many rules. If you don't follow them, like for the people that we watch, the broadcasters, if they say a certain word, or if they say, for example, they will use the C word instead of cancer, because you're not allowed to use that word cancer somehow. on YouTube's. And if you want to talk about the COVID-19 injection, you can't say COVID-19 vaccine. You have to use another word like jab. And there's one person, she doesn't even say it. She just goes this, this. So I just think of it, all these educators that we have, of which Your Royal Majesty is the greatest educator of all, but these people are online. And in order to not be penalized and not being taken off their platform, they speak in code. And, they won't actually say the word. And just think of it, like in the future, when the VIPs of the VIPs are watching them, they're just going to be like blubbering, nonsensical teachers, because they don't even use the word for what they're trying to say. So this is the extent how Google has censored us. So thank God, thank you, Your Royal Majesty, for bringing this royal decree out that you are going to ban Google from Canada. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty.
You're welcome.
Her Excellency Deborah Gray.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I just wanted to add to Her Majesty or Her Excellency Sally's comments. Google is nefarious, in my opinion, and it's had a huge monopoly, and it's assisted with the brainwashing of we the people in the Western world. And there's all sorts of information available to associate Google with nefarious aspects of the world, such as Chrome being related to adrenochrome, and Gmail, even the sigil for Gmail is the apron of the Freemasons. So it's all kind of spooky and nefarious. And I'm grateful that you're empowering we the people of Canada and we the people of North America and we the people of the world to come up with other search engines. And I actually use other search engines whenever I can, rather than using Google, because it's dark energy as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. Okay, anyone else? Her Excellency Gina Lee, Her Excellency Deep Coming Soul, His Excellency Fortier, His Excellency Michael.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. Some excellent points already made about how Google definitely has censored the society, but also with the system. If it's kind of creepy, because when you look for things, it really just shows you what it wants to guide you to. And then not only that, it takes your data and you don't know who has access to that and who's manipulating that data in order to control you in your life. And I have a primary example I saw recently in a video where there was some research conducted in a Kroger. Kroger is a grocery store in America. I'm not sure where else, but in America. And it had been shown that they had these AI ticker tapes of what the prices were in the store. And when they did their research, they looked at how they really evaluated the customers, and they had the identification on the customer, and they were able to adjust the prices. They were able to tell what that customer was interested in based on their history and their data of what it is they purchased. So that way they can adjust prices. And then depending on how many people were in the grocery store, they would increase those prices as well. And I remember seeing this back 20 years ago or so. I don't want to date myself, but when you go ahead and you use the travel agencies, and you would go to one of these websites to go look up for maybe a trip that you'd like to plan, and you'd see an amazing deal to take a flight or whatever the case is. And then your data, when you come back to look for that flight, all of a sudden it's, astronomical prices. It's 3-4 times higher than it was when you first looked at the price. And so I think about how Google is doing the same thing. And I can only imagine from that period to now as to how it is expanded upon in this recent example about the Kroger's and the grocery store, about how they use our data against us. And we really don't know where Google is taking that data and where it's already being applied. But Google is not a Canadian company, so automatically it's foreign influence, it's foreign interference into Kingdom of Canada business. So absolutely necessary royal decree. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty.
You're welcome.
His Excellency Michael Richard Hawkins.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. Her Excellency Gina Lee hit it right there. It's exactly what I was going to say about how Google has burrowed itself into the business of Canadian nationals, and it sells its data to its foreign partners, which Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo the First educated all of us yesterday about this, to be framed, and this decree is framed for the safety, security, and sovereignty to protect our data for self-governance and independence from global digital hegemony. Encourages a shift towards self-reliant and privacy-respecting digital infrastructure in the Kingdom of Canada and revitalizing this industry. Because I must say, I've used AI on a number of occasions, Your Majesty, and it's not very smart. It's
No.
pre-programmed. It's promoting the narrative that goes around with the old system and the pre-programming.
Correct.
And I would like to see AI become a little smarter, more open source, and more beneficial to the people, as Her Excellencies had mentioned that Russia and China have their own great economies going, and they're not suffering from the foreign interference that we are here in the West. So thank you very much for this important royal decree. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I would like to note that many AIs, and AIs are only as intelligent as its programmers. It's only able to provide you information based on what it has been fed, the data it has been fed. So if the programmer or the coder, the developer, is biased towards Queen Romana, then the AI will give you a biased answer about Queen Romana. I have tested so many AIs and questioned it. And many, actually all of them have agreed when I asked the question. Because there was one particular AI that I was using, I won't name it here. I was asking it, explain to me how you can provide non-biased answer to the people when they search about Queen Romana, because the information you have were gathered from public information that were propaganda and smear campaign against Queen Romana. And the AI, that particular AI, agreed. Yes, I am reliant. The information I provide is reliant on the information that is out there and what has been provided to me during my training. So remember that when you're using AI, that whoever is providing data to that AI, whoever's programming it, is as biased as the individuals who are creating it. Okay?
His Excellency Yves Gauthier.
His Excellency Yves Fortier. And for those of you wondering what I'm drinking, this is garlic and honey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Majesty. I just want to share my experience with open source application. It's amazing. I have a LibreOffice that replaced Office Windows, Audacity for sound, and Blender for videos. I think we can have a search engine of open source or all those services Google provide with open source easily. Thank you.
Correct. You're welcome. And the royal decree calls for it says, or open source, right? Instead of we the people being charged. And this is consistent in terms of fees, this is consistent to what I had said before, that technologies, suppressed technologies, must be provided to the people first for free before it can become commercialized. The technology I prefer is open source so that the entire world can benefit. Okay.
Her Excellency, Dave Clemenceau.
So I especially like us on section 2, enforcement and compliance. They're given 120 days. We're given 120 days to transition. So what I understood by that was that we, the people, pay attention, change who you're dealing with. And also the rationale number 4, symbolic. This putting an end to Google has a symbolic and ceremonial significance. It marks the beginning of the era of self-dominance and detachment from hegemony. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let all the talents, skills, and training of all Canadian nationals show. I bet you better than Google. Okay? Welcome to innovation in the Kingdom of Canada. Show us what your mama gave you. All right, innovate, innovate. Technology, innovate. All right? Okay. Anyone else would like to speak to that? All right, should we? Okay, Her Excellency Sally Wong, I think, has her hand up. His Excellency Emmanuel, Thomas Emmanuel, has been very quiet the whole time. Shall we give you the floor? The microphone. Yeah, you're being called by the Queen.
Thomas, His Excellency Thomas Emmanuel.
Is it on Google services still?
Yes.
Okay. Google is keeping us in the matrix, and they are the fact checkers. So for the regular people, of course. So, and even about Queen Romana and anything, whatever they say, it's all, it's about the old system, and they are protecting them. We had to get out of that. So it is good Her Royal Majesty is have the courage to take us out of that Google services, and we find something which is more truthful and improve our intelligence. I don't know whether Russian services could be much more truthful than us, than the US. Open source system is very good. Yes, of course. So we'll be looking towards new definitions, because the fact checkers are all completely awful about the reality of the world.
Correct. And when you have a system that keeps everyone in that particular bubble and not allowing we the people to get out of that bubble based on their control of the information and the technology, and even they lock people on their devices, the what is it? And it's anti-competitive, really. And from the safety, security, and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada, we cannot allow foreign corporations to be controlling the data of we the people, and the hegemony, the dominance of our e-commerce and technology as a whole. You go to Google and they decide, based on their algorithm, they decide what information you get to see, what news from other parts of the world, if any, that they choose to show you. So that's a problem, because that's keeping we the people of the Kingdom of Canada ignorant of what is happening around the world, and programming them to believe that the theatrics in North America, in this case, especially the Kingdom of Canada and America and those parts of Europe, is what the whole world is, which is absolutely false. And so long as we are connected to that matrix, as His Excellency Thomas mentioned, we the people of the Kingdom of Canada cannot ascend because of the information limited and the information control, the data that they are allowed to see. The information they're allowed to see is decided by Google. And they're not Canadian nationals. It's not a Canadian corporation. It's American.
I believe Her Excellency Sally Wong has had her out then.
Okay, Your Excellency Sally Wong, did you have your hand up?
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. And the fact that Google, as already been mentioned by Your Royal Majesty, is an American company. It's not a Canadian company. And this is going to open up the innovation right here in the Kingdom of Canada. So on the coffee hour yesterday, you said that people, Canadian nationals who look towards their leadership, towards America, they need to, this is some sarcasm that we are learning from our Queen. Those people who look to America, you said on the coffee hour yesterday, do they not realize, you said it's something like this, that the Americans are trillions in debt? What kind of leadership is that? And if they can't even get their shit together, you know, it's not that smart to look to America. And Google is an American company, and they're the epitome of media. We don't need to look to them because they can't even get their shit together. Being $1 trillion in debt, excuse my
That's 120 trillion dollars. 32 trillion is made public. Now that we have that straight, go ahead, Your Excellency Sally Wong.
Well, yeah. So you're teaching us how to express our anger. Yeah, they can't even get their shit together. So why should we look to their leadership? And Google has been the media leader across the world. And it's time now for the Kingdom of Canada to show off the official monarch of the world. Her Royal Majesty, Queen Romana Didulo I, is the real boss. And we're going to get something done here in the Kingdom of Canada. And we don't need Google anymore because of their censorship. And thank you, Your Royal Majesty, for this very wise and courageous, and you're getting the old system by the jugular. These are all the people at the top. And this is why you make us understand that you are the real boss. And that's a fact. Nobody else could do this. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty.
You're welcome. By the way, Canada Post is a gunner. Next. Your Excellency.
It just came to mind that I think that there could be Google withdrawal around IMs in the Kingdom of Canada, because it seems to me that so many people are on the Ask Google everything. And so I think it'll be a bit of a withdrawal, but it was already out on the way out the door, because this is 3D. We're going to 2060. So it's just a stepping stone out, Canada first. Thank you, Queen Romana.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Her Excellency Gina Lee.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I wanted to come back to the 120 trillion for any Americans that are listening in, that this was the corruption that was going on within our own system, and things like Google and other programs kept us in a manipulated state, in a mind-controlled state where we weren't paying attention. We weren't realizing the level of corruption and the depth of that debt that they were giving us. And I want to make sure that Americans are feeling a sense of peace, because we do have benevolent leadership that is guiding us and that will lead us to out of this darkness and back into some light, where we don't have to feel the stresses of what our corrupt system, previous old corrupt system that is crumbling and is gone. And really, we have now stepped into natural law under the benevolent leadership of Her Royal Majesty. And this current image of what we're being portrayed with corrupt leaders that are accepting these $500,000 planes is not the way to go. This is not in the form of peace. This is not in the form of negotiation. Her Royal Majesty does that with peace and with and shows that strength, and it's a presence. And Her Royal Majesty will teach us, will guide us, and we are perfectly fine and we are perfectly safe. And we will be guided out of this darkness, and everything will be fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, someone Googled the plane from Qatar that was gifted to my brothers and sisters. I'm addressing you now. The Qatar royal family. On behalf of we the people of America, thank you for the gift of the aircraft. However, we must kindly decline under natural law. Such gift is exorbitant, and we the people of Qatar deserves that money to be spent on them rather than gifting to a foreign head of state. Under natural law, the gifting of that plane to America is declined. And to the American, we the people, under natural law, return the plane. We the people of Qatar should be the ones using that aircraft. Whatever circumstance took place, whatever behind the doors, negotiations and secret deals, whether you were threatened, you were blackmailed, or whatever the circumstances, I said, the gift must be returned to the country of Qatar. Under natural law, it is declined. Under natural law, such gifts should not exist. We, the people of Qatar, must have that privilege to use that aircraft or to sell that aircraft so that it can be given to the people of Qatar. Divide that money. If it is 400 million or however many million that aircraft costs, sell it and divide it equally, distribute that, send it to the bank accounts of we the people of Qatar equally. Let them benefit. Okay, who would like to speak next? Or did we go through? Okay. Okay, we've gone through all the panel members who wanted to speak to that. Okay, the next one